What's up, guys? Understand Boxing here. I want to give you guys a technique, a way to profit betting on fight sports from UFC, boxing, any type of MMA. What I've used to profit consistently over the past 5 years. First of all, there's money management. This is not, you can learn that anywhere, how to manage your bankroll. But what I do, and this is going to work for people, that have fight experience. And even some people that have fight experience, it doesn't translate to coach, and it may not translate to this. But if you have knowledge of fighting, or you've fought before, you're into it, and you study footage, or you need to have a knowledge of this type of stuff. What I do, and a technique to do, is so you study the whole card, right? Study the whole card. When you watch film on the fighters' last fights. I like to watch the last two fights. I don't like going too far because they may have improved. They may, old footage. A lot of these fighters are improving. Some fighters stay with the same techniques and habits, but a lot of fighters improve. So I like to watch their last two fights. When you've analyzed the whole card, you want to pick, one or two guys that you go, okay, man, this guy's a favorite for a reason. A lot of time you'll see favorites when you study the film. I mean, it's like, I can still see him catching it. You want to find two guys where, like, okay, this guy, he might be minus 400, but I don't see a way that he can lose. It's close to a lock, right? You find that person in the card. When you've done that, now what you do is, with your fighting knowledge, it takes knowledge. And what I mean by knowledge, like, what am I looking for when I'm live betting? I'm looking at the rhythm. Oh, sorry about that. Let me turn this off here. This is one of the films I was on. One of the fights I was studying. I'm studying Justin Gaethje versus the Fiziev and Nacho fight. I was studying footage on that. But what I'm looking for is guys that, a lot of guys, they don't know how to roll with shots. They don't know how to take shots. So there's this everybody says he has a bad chin, he has a good chin. That exists, but a lot of it is like, when you're fighting, a lot of fighters, boxers, know how to do this well. They don't know how to roll with shots. So if someone throws a hook, I might lean into it, put my weight on my back foot, make sure that he hits the top of my head. They throw a jab, I'm parrying, I'm catching. They throw a straight right, I'm catching, I'm rolling. I might slip, but I'm active. My hands are parrying. I'm rolling with shots. I'm not taking shots clearly. I'm not just putting a high guard and taking it. You see a lot of young fighters too. Chase Hooper was one of these guys. They don't know how to take shots. He got knocked out against Stevie Garcia, I think it was. And, when you're studying tape, you could see these type of things coming. That's why you can make money doing this. Guys that are raw from a karate background or an MMA gym, a lot of these guys, they're not comfortable in the pocket, so they're constantly trying to come in and out. They're trying to get out of range. That works, but at the end of the day, you got to know how to sit in the pocket and take shots. You've seen Wonder Boy has a great style for that, but even Wonder Boy had an understanding of, taking shots. You're not always going to make the shot miss. Sometimes you're going to have to take it, and you got to learn how to take it and be comfortable doing that. So I like to look for guys that they're not comfortable taking shots, and then, okay, can this guy beat him? Because a lot of these guys can get away with that style for a while. They can come in and out and get away with the style where they're just in and out of them. When I first started, I came from a karate background. Boxing, I struggled a lot because I didn't know how to take a shot. Until I learned that, and the coaches don't teach that. And they could teach it, but they don't teach it. No one teaches it. That's why I want to get into I feel like I could help a lot of guys with this. Some guys have it. Gage, like the Poirier knows how to do that. Gaethje. A lot of these fighters, they get the concept of this. Some of these guys, I don't even think it crosses their mind. Like, they literally just try to get out of the shot or slip it or roll. You're not always going to be able to slip shit. Sometimes you got to roll and go with the punches. And you got to have the right knowledge and the right defense in order to do that. So that's something that I'm looking for. And then I'm also looking for the rhythm of the fighters. Can they sustain that rhythm? You'll see guys that are uncomfortable. They'll come in and out. Last card I see, they'll come in and out. That's not sustainable for more than 2 rounds. Sometimes it is. Some of these guys are on EPO, on all this type of stuff, and it is. So this is complicated, but when you see a guy with a steady rhythm and he's transferring his weight, another thing that I look for, transfer weight. Do these fighters know how to transfer their weight? When they throw a jab, do they know where their weight should be? When they throw a right hand, do they know where their weight should be? Do they have an understanding of these things? If they throw a hook, is there weight on their back foot with that hook? Are they transferring their weight correctly? These are things that I look for, and I'm studying this footage. I'm not an expert in wrestling, but I got some knowledge on it as I've studied more footage. And I wrestled a little bit in high school, but not nearly enough to, like, the striking understanding that I have. That's where I excel. But I look for matchups, I look for all this. But to make a long story short, the way to profit in this is a good strategy to profit in this is you find this guy that you're very confident in. Doesn't mean that you can go 10 units. You should still go, like a maximum of 5 units. And you're watching the fights as they go. You're watching it live. You want to be on an ESPN Plus, so you're watching it absolutely live. And when you see that advantage, and maybe the line jump because the book noticed, sometimes I'll see something that the book didn't catch. But even if they price it up, let's say the guy jumps from a minus 125 to a minus 195, you pair it up with that minus 400, and boom, now you got value. And you do that throughout the fight. If you find 2 guys to do that with, you do that throughout the fight. You don't want to go too crazy and excessive, but I've profited a lot using this. But this will require you to have some knowledge. So you can't just be looking like the casual that's just looking, oh, he's hitting him, he's faster. No, you got to see, like, wait, this guy's got his rhythm. Every time he comes with, oh, he's snapping him with the jab. Oh, he doesn't know how to parry this. He doesn't know, oh, he's going to catch him with that right hand. He doesn't know how to react towards it. You got to be looking for that type of stuff. And that's one way. I'm always looking at the striking and seeing who looks more comfortable in there and seeing how these guys leverage their shots. There's small things, Some guys, they don't know how to throw a right hook and place their head on the outside shoulder of the fighter. But you have to understand these things. But that's a way to profit. Subscribe. I'm going to help you guys a lot. I usually don't have time to make videos, but I'm going to try my best to get these videos out of here because it's the only way to, make it on YouTube. And I've profited a lot this year. I've only lost 1 card. Only 1 card this year have I lost money, and it wasn't that much, but I've done very well. And not working with the biggest of bankrolls. And, get 500, turn it into 1,500, and like that. And then I go back to 500 and I play my units throughout there. I've been profitable, and for now, if you find this channel, you're gonna get some free picks and subscribe, and we'll make money. I make a lot of my money live, but I usually, as I'm studying the card, I'm late right now. I was able to study some, and see, you don't want to be late neither because now the prices are taxed and all that, and I've still managed to be, a lot of times, I try not to be late, but a lot of weeks I am late, and I've still managed to profit, even though, the lines are taxed and all that. I'm able to profit. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of picks here. Subscribe, like the video, and I'm gonna give you guys some picks. Thank you.